Hey guys.
Hi.
It's CholyFlower and
Chris.
why do you say it so low?
I thought that was pretty, dramatic.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Dramatic and I are here tonight to do the official Q&A, the CholyFlower Chats Q&A, because a few weeks ago on my giveaway video, I did ask you guys to submit one question on my videos in the comment section in lieu of also giving me what you wanted in the giveaway, which the giveaway is never in the shot in the complete
I'm just a
areas.
big guy.
Okay,
there we
so
go.
let me just preface this by saying there's some pretty personal questions on this whole thing, but we're gonna take a shot at it.
Do the best we can.
We're gonna take a shot at it. So I'm just gonna go with, let's see. No, I'm not gonna do that. Blah 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 blah. All right, I'm actually gonna ask this question. So the first question is from Choly.
I don't know if you could read the screen. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to do
You're not
that.
gonna be able to read anybody's thing because I'm doing this off of my tablet, and of course I just lost the whole video. Here it is.
Oops.
Okay. Yeah, we don't want to hear me. I don't want to hear me speak. Okay. So the first question is from Choly. She's the first girl right there. And Choly, I'm going to throw this one out to Chris. She says, which movie has influenced you most out of life?
That's a hard one.
Well, think about it.
That's very difficult. I'd say The Outsiders.
Why?
Stay gold.
Really? Just because it says stay gold?
Well, it's just the way of it's another way of saying stay true to yourself. Don't let anybody put you down, and you can dig anything you want. Just stay true to you. Stay gold.
Okay. I'm actually going to choose there's 3 questions from my friend Freebie Ninja. And he said, it says, what's your most embarrassing childhood memory? My most embarrassing childhood memory, I was about, oh boy, I don't even remember. I must have been about maybe 10 or 11, and I was out with my girlfriend, and where I grew up in the Bronx, we had these steel bars or this steel fence that would separate the buildings. So sometimes, because one of them was a little bit ajar, we would come through that instead of having to walk all the way around to get through to my building. And this one time I went to go through this bar and I got my head stuck.
Ooh.
And it was literally stuck on my ears.
Oh.
And my girlfriend at the time was standing there. She didn't know what to do. She was laughing and crying at the same time.
Oh my God.
And when I finally got my head to the right position and you heard this thump,
Oh.
when my head came out, for a good while this ear here just kept doing this. Oh, and my girlfriend would not stop laughing. She thought it was the funniest thing ever, and it was very embarrassing for me.
And Dawn just lost the questions.
And I'm going back to the questions because I always do this. This is oh no, here it is. Okay, so the second part of this is, have you ever gone cow tipping? I have not. Have you ever gone, look at his face. Have you ever gone cow tipping? If you say yes.
Well, we didn't actually cow tip, but we went looking for cows to tip. Granted, oh my God. Okay, where I live, there's if you travel farther north, you'll hit farm country, and it's you hear about it in movies and stuff, so yeah, but we never did it. We never did it.
Okay.
Cow tipping.
And the last question that he has is, what is the strangest dream you've ever had? Have you ever entered my mind? I have strange dreams. I have strange dreams consistently all the time. It depends on, just...
Depends on the mood.
It really does. I have had a lot of when I was a kid, I used to have really weird nightmares because I was always afraid of death and losing my my mom or grandmother, what have you. And there was this dream I had where there was a big tank, and it was full of just people in it, and it was you could see right through it, and it was all it was like one of those, when you go to a biology class and you see those things in those test jars. That's what this was. This wasn't a petri dish. This was a huge jar of people. And I just remember it being just I don't even know where I was, but it was one of the weirdest dreams I've ever had. So how about you, Chris?
Well, the weirdest dream I ever had was it was right after my grandmother died, and I don't know, for some reason, she gave me a hug, and then she jumped up in the sky and turned into a demon. And and then charged at me and almost killed me.
did this?
My grandmother.
Oh gosh.
It was pretty freaky. That was like one of the scariest dreams I
I'll
ever
get
had.
you, my pretty.
Yeah, that was pretty freaky. Oh
Okay.
my god.
Next is a question from Marina.
Hi, Marina.
Hi, Marina. She says, "What's the most annoying thing about your BFF? Is there one?
Where is
Is there one? About,
Be kind. Be kind. Be kind.
where do I begin about my BFF?
Kind.
Well, A, he is my BFF. Annoying. Chris has a tendency sometimes when Chris is lying, and I know he's lying, Chris does this, and his voice goes about 6 octaves higher than it needs to go.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Exactly. It's like that. He's like, what do you mean? I don't know why you're getting so mad at me. And his voice just like travels to the heights of, I don't even know what it's like. Somebody squeezed his balls and
Ooh.
just,
That's funny you said that.
and they reached Prince level because it's like, I don't know where the voice comes from, but there it is. You know what? I love him to death. I do. There are little things that Chris has done that can be a little bit annoying, but that is one of them. Like, it's just the whole, like, eye shut thing and the voice goes. And how about me, Christopher?
And she looks at me like, God! Okay, I'll tell you what.
Let's see if we can come up with one.
Dawn's self-defeatingness.
Oh.
Yes, Dawn always self-defeats herself almost at everything and anything sometimes before she even tries. And that's it's annoying because she's like, to me, and other people see it too, whenever they see what she does, it's like she's a natural at it. It's just weird. But she always self-defeats herself, and she's her own worst enemy. Well, a lot of people are their own worst enemies, but she's the worst. I mean...
Yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am
Yep.
pretty much so. Okay, so Tony wants to know,
Hey, Tony, how you
what
doing?
are your favorite go-to karaoke songs to sing?
Oh, God. Oh, God. You first.
Lights by Journey.
Yes.
Constantly. It's like something I always put in. I always put Lights in by Journey. It's just something that people seem to enjoy. And I know this one enjoys it. I know, other people that I've known. A lot of people have said, like, they just like when I sing that song. So it's like a go-to. I always do that one. So.
It's My Life by Bon Jovi. And that, or, like, now, it's been Nothing But a Good Time by Poison. People get into it. I mean, when I don't drop my drinks.
Yeah. Chris is like, don't do that.
It's like, here's 2 of you, and all of a sudden slip. And I say, shit.
And that should have been caught on camera. I don't know.
It was
why.
caught on camera by my friend Dave.
It was caught on camera. We
But
need to put that.
We're going to
in
see if we
footage.
can get it from my friend Dave, who's Canadian.
Yeah, exactly.
We love him dearly.
Celeste wants to know, my
Celeste
friend
girl, what's up?
from Celestial Beauty. She says, "Do you think that fat shaming is a real thing? And if so, do you think women get it more than men?"
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to answer this too. Yes, I think fat shaming is a real thing. The whole Nicole Arbor thing, everybody has given their opinions about. As far as the way things are presented, fat shaming has been happening since the beginning of time, unfortunately. It's just like anything else. It's because somebody is not the atypical, what have you. I think people need to not only stop doing that, but they need to really understand that everybody is made of different sizes, shapes, and colors, and that
Exactly.
if this was a world that we were all meant to be the same thing, then it'd be a very
boring.
boring world.
Yeah.
And some people have issues. Some
Yeah.
people use food as a stress mechanism. Some people have, medication or
That makes them-
medical
yes.
reasons. Some people
Yes.
have been trying to diet. It's like, when you get a pimple on your face, do you want somebody to constantly go, ew, you got a zit on your face? You know it's there. You know it's going to stay there for
So
however it's going to be.
shush.
So it's either A, you're going to take care of it and do something about it when you're ready, or they just need to live with it, because eventually it's going to go away.
Yeah.
As far as weight is concerned, it's all up to that person. If they feel
Yeah.
like they are comfortable in their own skin and their own body and what they look like, and if they feel comfortable, then for me, I love them for the rest of their lives the way they are. If they want to lose weight, great. For me, the only thing I'm concerned about, honestly, as far as weight is concerned, is the health issues that go along with it. And for me, anybody in my life that I think needs, my mom doesn't eat well, this one doesn't eat well, Joe doesn't eat well, and he's thin. I worry about their health. Yeah, why are you looking at me? So for me, it doesn't matter if they're skinny, average, fat, overweight, whatever it is. Yes, my concern will always go to their health. So yes, and is it more in men or women? I think it's equal. I think people are just as nasty about men as they are about women.
Oh yeah.
And it's got to just stop.
It needs to stop.
It all has
to
stop.
It also is like a very hard thing for when someone is on a budget and also because they can't afford the
Oh, don't you go there, boy.
Oh yeah. It's
He
true.
uses that excuse all the time. I tell him it's just as simple to buy a vegetable that's a cheap thing than to buy like a sandwich with like all sorts of things. But anyway,
Next.
let's see. Stephanie, Bath and Beauty Freak wants to know how far away from each other do Chris and you live?
I'd say about 15 minutes
About
away.
15 minutes away. I live in New
15,
York.
20 minutes
He
away.
lives in Connecticut, but
But the
literally.
thing is that the town where I live in is literally right, like, so close to the border, like 5 minutes. Danbury. Look it up.
Okay. My friend Candace, or CJ Mod,
Hi,
she wants
CJ.
to know, I don't think Chris needs to answer this, but I will. What's your favorite makeup brand if you can only pick one?
Oh my god, well, my favorite is... Oh, you go.
But she has another one. All right,
Okay.
so for me, if I had to pick, that's so difficult. It really is because I like so many different ones for
Let's
so many
ask me
different
what's your
reasons.
favorite
I'd say
songs are,
Maybelline.
man.
I'd say Maybelline. What's you and Chris's funniest moment together?
Now that is difficult.
That is difficult because
we got so many.
we crack each other up a lot.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
I can't even name one. And you can't either because you looked at me like I'm expecting
Honestly,
you to do it.
most of it has to do lately with these videos because his faces, especially when you feed him something, and he's like,
She cracks up, and when I hear her laugh, it's like a drug, and I just go off.
it does because most of the time I do these like tastings or whatever just to see expressions on his face because they crack me up. I sit there and watch them later, and I can't hold it
When we
in.
used to be karaoke DJs, there was this guy at our shows who always used to like break wind all the time. And Dawn, and I'd walk by, and Dawn would
And
just
Chris
be
has
like,
the rabbit nose. He's like,
and my eyes would go up, and I just hear Dawn behind the whatever it was called.
the system.
That's it. And she would, I just hear her dying, and
Because it was hysterical.
well, yeah.
Oh, Salina.
Salina
wants to
Buenas
know
noches.
if you could take your video series segment on the road, where would you go and why?
London.
Segment. Okay, honestly, I would go. Well, obviously, we'd stay in the U.S.
Oh, okay, all
because
right,
it's where
I know,
we're
yeah,
from.
okay, all right.
I would definitely go down to Manhattan. I definitely
yeah.
would love to do the metropolitan area, the
Village,
city,
the village.
the village.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would love to go to like Seattle, like Portland.
Ooh, Seattle.
Like all the major cities, I think we would probably tour the cities first and see how
Atlanta.
that, and then we would
Houston,
travel.
Dallas, all over.
Yeah, and then we travel.
We travel
like
abroad.
overseas,
I love that. Look at her hand. It's like abroad.
Okay.
Next question. We have to be serious.
Let's see. Oh.
Whoa.
This is a good one.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
So hope to know 95. I hope I said that right.
Hi, Hope.
Hope to know. She says, how do you have the mental strength to deal with so many catty people on social media? Well, it is, let me tell you, I don't always have a lot of patience with people. I think a lot of the times is what happens for me because maybe it's my age and maybe it's because I've gone through this in my early 20s and, even my 30s too. I find that people just repetitively become more and more of an asshole. So for me, it depends on the situation. If it's something that is really something I'm offended by, I'm going to talk about it, probably make a video about it. If it's something that I think is just so stupid and so not worth the trouble or what have you, I need to ignore it. I mean, I'll talk about it with Chris. I come to Chris
absolutely.
about everything, especially social media wise. I'll be like, oh, Chris, do you know what happened this week?
This girl says this about me, whatever.
Exactly. And
And then
honestly,
we make a video.
For me, I rather talk about things and be outwardly upfront. Like, I will tell you guys exactly the way it is. Like, for me,
Dawn doesn't front.
there is nothing that I need to, gain or lose. Like, if I lose subscribers because I have an opinion, oh well.
Yeah.
If I gain subscribers because they think I'm more of a real person or the way I'm presenting myself,
That's
listen,
great.
I'll tell you the God's honest truth. There's people that have talked shit about me on Guru Gossiper already, honestly.
That's a whole other
and
video.
believe me, there's going to be a whole video on that. But honestly, like, I commented twice, and that was the biggest mistake I ever made, because when you show that you are that these people are actually allowing themselves to get to you, or allowing themselves to affect you, that you're acknowledging that you're even giving them any kind of like attention, they keep it up. And for me, I commented twice and I stopped, and sometimes I go back to see and there's nothing there, and it's better. It's just better if you just ignore them, because the more fuel you'll add to the fire, the worse it gets, and it's just not worth it. Life is too short.
You're right.
Way too short. Okay. Let's see. Let's pick another.
Let's pick up a. I'm a bad pickup. What do you got?
Wow.
What do you
All
got?
right.
What do
You know what, Jessica DeVille? You want to call me out?
Okay,
all right,
Miss
Jessica.
DeVille. Miss
Here's
DeVille,
where we're going to clear it
got.
all up. She says, "Does the situation ever get weird with Chris and Joe?" I'm going to let him answer that. Wait. And just wondering how y'all continue to be civil with one another. I'm gonna let you answer this. So how are you and Joe getting along? And go ahead.
And now deep thoughts. No, Joe. Hi, Dawn.
There we
No,
go.
Joe. So cute. Anyway, Joe and I are okay. If you've ever seen Family Guy and you see the way this relationship is between Brian and Stewie, it's kind of like that. Joe and I always, Joe mostly always crack. We always crack on each other. Always like whatever. But it doesn't matter, because I've known Joe longer than I've known Dawn. And as much as he could be a piece of work, I'm gonna be nice. He's a good guy. He's a good father, and he's just an all-around good guy. And I know in his weird way he cares.
They tolerate each other because of me. Mm-hmm. They literally tolerate each other. See, they know their roles in my life. I mean, Joe and I are parents together, and Chris and I are best friends, and they know each other's roles. They may not like it all the time, but they do. They act like Brian and Stewie sometimes. Even though Joe's like, no.
No. Yeah, Joe's more like Brian.
In everybody's life, there's situations that make no sense to the general public. For me, it is what it is. It's the way it just came about.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in my life for 10 years. Joe and I have lived together for 13, and it just works. It may not seem like an ideal situation for a lot of people. It wasn't
But
at first. It wasn't at first for me, because it's very if you look at the whole thing, it's like it's kind of. But my daughter loves him. My daughter knows who her father is. He's like family. He's very good to everybody.
I would
and
die
you know
for that
what?
little girl.
Joe will never admit it. He does love him. He does like him. He gets along with him. He may not. No, I don't.
Lies.
But it's all fine. All right.
Next question.
We're gonna answer.
We're gonna run out of time soon.
Yeah, we're gonna answer 2 more, and then we're gonna go.
We're gonna go.
Because our camera time is running out.
Well, folks.
All right, so let me pick one.
Pick a good one.
I'm picking it.
Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite? Lily's mom wants to know, what is your favorite thing about each other?
Oh, that is really hard to answer.
No, it's not.
My favorite thing about Dawn? Everything.
No.
I love her.
You gotta pick one thing, Chris.
I can't. Ladies and some gentlemen, I can't. Because I adore her, and I love her so much. I just like...
I love his genuine nature.
Genuous, yes.
He's very genuine. I've
She's
said that
so-
from the moment I've met him. He's adorable, obviously. He makes me laugh. He's just very, he's uplifting. He can be annoying, but he's uplifting. If this stops, we'll continue.
We'll continue.
We'll continue.
We're back.
Okay, so we have a little bit more time. Okay, so you were saying now?
What was I saying?
That you can't just pick one thing.
I can't pick one thing about Dawn that I absolutely love. I think, well, okay, damn it. No, and it's now getting like on the spot because it's all in front of me now.
Go on.
One favorite thing I love about Dawn is her heart.
Oh.
She has a heart of gold. She is tough as nails, and she is...
No, I'm reading questions. Go
Oh, okay,
on.
I'm sorry. She is tough as nails, and she is so hard on herself sometimes that I want to smack her. But she has one of the best hearts and one of the most loving hearts I've ever known. And she can see the is genuosity a word?
It is now.
It
You
is
just
now.
made
I just
up.
made it up. Is something that she has in spades. And I'll always love her for it.
There's a lot of questions here that are like relegated to me as far as like stuff. So I am going to do a separate one. I'll do a live Periscope one because some of these are just, general makeup questions and things like that. I just want to get stuff. Oh, here we go. Susan Fitzpatrick wants to know,
Irish girl.
how did you and Chris meet? Want me to tell that story?
I think you should, because I've been... Gavin, go ahead.
Okay, so there was this one time I used to work at a haunted house with with Joe. Joe was like he was like he was a main person there, and I worked with him, and we had a bunch of these kids that we used to hang out with afterwards. So one night we were roller skating, went to this roller place, and one of the guys that worked there as well, he mentioned there was karaoke at a bar down the street. So back in the day, I mean, all you had to say was karaoke to me, and I was there. So Joe and I went to this bar, and it's funny because the only person that could get in was one of the kids who was like 21. The rest of them had to like leave because they were underage. So we all got in, and it was kind of dead in there. And I went up there and I put a song in, and Chris was running it at the time. And I went up there to sing Evanescence, Bring Me to Life, which I don't think I ever sung before, and it was a little difficult, and I was like leaning up against like an arcade game, and just singing. And when I was over and done with, because when I stop singing, I kind of rush back to my seat, so I'm like this. So
But I heard her voice, and I was just like...
So I'm sitting there with Joe and our friend Tim, and he comes over with this god-awful shirt he's wearing. And he leans over, and he's got his glasses on, and he's like, he tries to be all cool, and he like looks at me, and he's like, you really have a nice voice. You should, want to repeat what you said? You should try out for American Idol. And I looked up, and I was like, thanks. Because I was like, oh, this guy's giving me a line.
So I was just giving her a line.
I don't know how it happened, but weeks later, he shows up at another bar near us.
Yep, and her and Joe come to the show.
And me and Joe went.
They just kept on coming after that.
And the person he was working with, Joe was friendly with, and I don't know, I could not stand him. He was obnoxious and annoying, but
then afterwards, she kind of, I grew on her.
like a fungus. Well, not before this one slapped me in my ass. Do I have to even tell this story?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there was one night when I was training to work with these people, and he walks over.
Not one of my
He walks over. I don't know even where he got the gumption to do it, and he's like, bam, and he's like, you like it. I turned around, I was like, what? So I did what any girl does. I told my father about it, and a few months later down the line, when he came to one of our shows and I was working,
Oh, Lord.
Chris found out just exactly what happens to anybody that touches me.
Oh.
And, yeah, you want to tell that one? What happened?
Her dad pretty much grabbed my balls like a vice grip and just squeezed. Meanwhile, my best friend at the time didn't do shit.
Nope.
And
Nope. But yes, that's what happens when you. Do
I need to take a
something
drink
like that.
because I'm just still suffering.
So I think that's it for the Q&A this time around. It was a lot of fun.
Hope you enjoyed it.
There's a lot of other questions that I have on these comments that I will probably do one for myself because Chris doesn't have a hair care routine or makeup routine.
Well, I do have a hair care routine. It's like all I do is put some like gel in it and just like comb it back. That's it. But you know, there you go.
Yeah,
There's my hair care
But they
routine.
want to know how do you contour.
Console. What the hell? Is
It doesn't matter. I was just kidding. Anyway, this was
Contour.
a see how he is. This was fun. I'm glad you guys entered the
It was
contest
fun.
and everything. You guys will be prepared because there
You
will
guys
be,
rock.
Yes, there will be a winner that I will announce on. What the hell, Eugene
don't know.
Simmons? I will announce it on Monday. He's gonna put his tongue back in his mouth, and we will see you soon.
Bye.